Hello everyone, hope all is well and welcome back and welcome to another Wednesdays with Adams. I'm sorry this video isn't lifestyle content. I didn't really do much this week because I got another cold, which was really annoying, so I didn't do much of anything except lay in bed and watch movies. So I'm sorry about that, but next week there'll be like a vlog or something lifestyle-ish. I would love to know what kind of lifestyle content you would like to see in the next few weeks, like maybe a fall lookbook or whatever it may be. Leave it down in the comments, that'd be very helpful. But anyways, today I thought it'd be the perfect day to finally give you my foundation roundup of all the new foundations I've been testing out. I have 6 here in front of me that I thoroughly tested out lots, and I have my full rounded opinions about them all. So before we get into the roundup, I would love for you to subscribe if you aren't already. It means so much to me, and let's get to it. I'm so happy that brands are starting to put out these more lighter weight foundations with more radiant finishes. It makes me so happy that I no longer have to adjust my foundations to get the finish I love and want. It's just now one easy peasy step in one bottle, and I'm so thankful for that. I used to add in the Glossier Skin Tint or MAC Next to Nothing to a lot of more matte foundations to thin them out, give them an extra glow, and just get the finish I finally want. But now I have so many options and I love that. But with that, I'm also having a hard time with a few of them of ranking them. I know my number one and I know my least favorite one, but in the middle it's kind of jumbled. I don't know which ranking they are. My top 4 are these ones right here: the Milk Flex Stick Foundation, the Nude Sticks Tinted Cover, the Pat McGrath Foundation, as well as the Guerlain L'Essentiel. So I'm going to go into depth with each one and give you the reasons why I love them or not. And I'm first going to start off with my number one. Also, I thought it would be important to add, if you're newer to my channel, I do have an oily combo skin type. I'm more oily in the center, and on the outskirts of my face, I'm more normal. So my number one favorite foundation is the Guerlain L'Essentiel Natural Glow Foundation. This has been my top favorite foundation for months now, and it's very exciting because it's now available in the US. I have no idea why it took so long to get there, but you can now pick it up if you're from the States. This is my perfect foundation. It has all the qualities I've been looking for years in a foundation. It's lightweight, it has a light to medium coverage, but it is very buildable. This is the most natural skin-like foundation I have ever tried. When it's on, it just looks so seamless and undetectable on the skin. It's just so stunning, and I love the glow it gives. It's not too it's not too dewy. It just gives you the perfect natural glow that holds up with my oilier skin type. It also acts the exact same in hot, humid climates as well as super dry and cold climates like Canada. I wore this on my last trip to Hawaii the whole time, and it never separated or got weird, and I wore it for the 10-hour plus days when we did our road trips and stuff, and it never failed me. I honestly can't say one bad thing about this foundation. It's just my ultimate favorite. I also got my mom hooked on this foundation as well, and she has a drier skin type, and it's her number one. It's everything that she has looked for in foundation for years. And the shade that matches me the most, if you're curious, is 02W. My next favorite is the one I'm wearing today, and it's the Pat McGrath Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Foundation, and I use the shade Light 7. This foundation makes me feel so glamorous every time I use it. It does really remind me of the Guerlain L'Essentiel, but just a little thinner, has a tiny bit more coverage, and it's a little bit more dewy instead of glowy. But whenever I apply this one, it makes me feel like I have supermodel skin, like you see in Pat McGrath's stories and things like that. It truly makes your skin look so flawless and glowy. Oh my gosh. The one thing that's weird is that I'm hesitant to reach for this one sometimes because I know it's so expensive and I fear of running out. Like, this one is the one I use on special dates or events or things like that, because I just never want to run out, because I don't want to repurchase it because it was so painful to buy. $90 Canadian, that's rough, but it is so stunning. The only downfall with this foundation is that it's crazy expensive, and that's about it. Other than that, I think this is just the most gorgeous formula and bottle, and everything around it is so stunning. I keep it in its box and everything. Her products to me are treasures. The next two I had trouble with ranking them, I love them both equally, I guess, but they're very different. The next one I'll talk about is the Milk Flex Stick Foundation. This is my go-to when I want more coverage. This is just so flawless. It takes a little bit more work to buff it into the skin though. That's the only downfall with this, is that you need a lot more time than other foundations I found. But once you buff it into the skin, it is so flawless. It looks beautiful, and it's not thick whatsoever. It's very undetectable on the skin as well. And I've never found that with any other stick foundations. I have always found them a little bit heavy and a bit too matte for my liking. This one just has the most stunning glow though. I love this one. It has a beautiful medium coverage. I don't really build it up to full because I don't like that look for myself. It wears so beautifully. Like by the end of the day, it doesn't look like it moved at all. It still looks fresh. And I don't feel the need to set this one with any powder whatsoever, and it just stays put and it doesn't get separated or weird or cakey at all. And it never settles in my nose crevices right here ever. So if you're looking for more of a high coverage foundation but with a beautiful glow, I would definitely recommend this one to you because this one is so amazing. This has changed the game for me in stick foundations. This one is beautiful. Next one is the Nude Sticks Tinted Cover. This is the perfect quick everyday foundation. I love blending this in with my fingers. It's very quick. It is the most dewy foundation I've ever applied on my skin. So if you have a super oily skin type, I would maybe stay away from this one because it can be a little bit intense. I use this one when I need a quick fix to even out my skin tone to get out the door. It has a good light to medium-ish coverage. This one is so super dewy. I don't ever feel the need to add any highlighter afterwards. It's just like that glowy. In my opinion, this has the exact same effect as the Glossier Skin Tint, but with actual coverage, and this has completely replaced my love for the Glossier Skin Tint. I love this one far more because it does actually even out your skin tone easier than the Glossier Skin Tint, because Glossier you would kind of have to build it up a little bit, but this one you just don't. You just can blend it in with your fingers and you're good to go. So the next two I'm going to be talking about aren't my super favorites. Like the four I've previously talked about, I could replace my entire foundation drawer with just those four and I'd be set for life. Like I love those four to death. But the next two I just didn't super love. So the first one I'm going to be talking about is the Anastasia Luminous Foundation. I had a really weird experience with this. I ended up taking down my review of it because I had completely different feelings after wearing it for a few more days. In my review at the end, I actually ended up really loving this foundation. The first day I didn't like it too much because I did set it with their powder, and their powder isn't the right one for me. It's a little bit too drying, too mattifying, and it made me feel super aware that I was wearing makeup, and I absolutely despise that feeling, if that makes any sense. So after that review, I continued wearing this foundation, and it just looked super weird. After like the 5th day of using this foundation, at the 3-hour wear mark, I noticed it looked super texture enhancing. It was really weird. It just like sunk into every pore I had, and it just accentuated it. And in this area right here, and almost made it look like the top of a cauliflower, like that texture. And like my skin does not have that texture whatsoever, so it kind of freaked me out. So that really freaked me out, and I haven't really used this foundation since. I don't know what the heck happened there. Maybe it's because I introduced a few new skincare products, or maybe because my skin is starting to change with the weather. It's starting to get a little bit colder, so maybe my skin is changing. I don't know. Let me know if you had any weird experiences with this foundation, because I bet I'm not the only one. I have no idea what went wrong there, but it was really strange. And the last one I'm going to be talking about is the Maybelline Dream Urban Cover. This one is my least favorite just because it's not a finish I prefer, and that's about it. If you like more of a matte and full coverage foundation, this could be a really great drugstore option for you. When I did a first impression with it, I did use a glowier base, and on top of that it made it look a little bit more of a dewy foundation. And then I used it in my Anastasia Norvina Volume 2 review, and I really didn't like the way it looked, so I had to adjust it with a dewy setting spray. And again, it's just one of those foundations that I do have to play around with and adjust, so it's my kind of vibe. But for me, I just prefer a lighter coverage foundation with a glowier finish. That's just what I love on me personally. You can definitely achieve a glowy look with using a glotion type product underneath with a dewy setting spray on top. But now that I have these foundations that I don't have to adjust to fit for me, I will definitely always gravitate to those instead of this one. My number one favorite drugstore foundation is still the L'Oreal Pro Glow. That's the foundation I used to have in my kit for a really, really long time. That finishes up my foundation roundup. I really hope you found this video helpful. If you picked up any of these foundations during the past few months, I would love to know your experience with them. That is all for me today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked today's video, please give it a like. It would help me out so much. I'll make sure to link all these foundations in the description down below. And before I go, I would love for you to subscribe if you aren't already, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye!